every rejection, every moment of loneliness. Because what you're building is not temporary. You are building legacy. You are building strength no storm can break. You are becoming someone you were always meant to be. You are choosing power over pity, fire over fear, action over apathy. And let me tell you, that makes you unstoppable. So the next time someone tells you, that's going to be hard, look them in the eye and say, good, I'm built for hard. Because if it's hard, it means few people are willing to go there. And that means it's exactly where you're supposed to be. Let the others fall back. You move forward. Let the others tap out. You dig deeper. Because while they sleepwalk through life, you stay awake. And when they finally realize they missed it, when they look back and wonder where their moment went, you'll be standing on the other side of difficult, transformed, empowered, and unrecognizable. Because you did what they wouldn't. You endured the fire. You grew through the pain. You refused to quit. And that's what makes you different. That's what makes you dangerous. That's what makes you great. Stay awake. The battle against mediocrity. There comes a moment in every life when you realize you're not just fighting for your dreams. You're fighting against something much bigger. You're battling mediocrity, not failure. Mediocrity. Because failure at least tries. Mediocrity? It settles. It smiles politely while slowly suffocating your potential. It says, this is good enough. You don't need to push further. Why risk it? And most people? They buy the lie. They stop stretching, stop evolving, stop chasing. They live quiet lives of repetition, checking boxes, counting hours, and wondering deep down, is this all there is? And they never say it out loud, but you see it in their eyes. You hear it in their conversations. You feel it in their energy. They've gone to sleep, not at night, but during their own life. But not you. Because once you've tasted the fire of possibility, once you've felt the whisper of purpose inside your soul, you can't go back. You can't unsee the vision. You can't unknow what you know. You can't return to a life that makes you feel empty just because it's easy. You have a decision to make every single day. Will I live by default or by design? Will I conform or will I rise? And here's the truth. It takes real courage to stay awake when everyone else chooses to sleep. It's not popular. It's not easy, but it's necessary. Because this world will always give you reasons to quit. Always. And most of them won't come in the form of disasters or tragedies. No, they'll come dressed as comfort. Distractions disguised as obligations. Tiny compromises that seem harmless, but steal inches of your greatness every single day. That's how people go numb. One small decision at a time. But you? You've decided that good enough is no longer good enough. You've decided to walk away from people, places, and patterns that keep you small. You've decided to challenge the status quo, not because it's fun, but because your soul won't let you do anything less. That takes fire. That takes guts. That takes the kind of inner strength that can't be taught, only chosen. Because greatness doesn't come by following the map. It comes by setting it on fire and carving your own trail. You want to do something incredible? Stop waiting for permission. No one's going to hand you the life you dream of. No one's going to knock on your door and say, here's your destiny, already built and polished. No. You have to create it. You have to build it. You have to fight for it in the early mornings and late nights, in the lonely seasons, in the silent chapters when no one sees you, and no one claps for you, and no one believes in you except you. that's when it counts the most. That's when your roots grow deep and your foundation gets strong. Because applause fades, but purpose, that lasts. So don't you dare measure your progress by the noise around you. Measure it by the fire inside you. If it's still burning, you're still becoming. If you're still waking up hungry, not just for success, but for growth, then you're already winning. Yes, it's hard. Yes, you'll want to quit. Yes, you'll doubt yourself more times than you can count. But hear me, those doubts are not your truth. They are just echoes of fear. And fear is a liar. The real voice, the one that matters, it's quiet. It's steady. It's the one that whispers when the room is silent. You were made for more than this routine, more than this cycle, more than this shell of a life they said you should want. And the only way to answer that call is to stay awake, to stay present, to stay hungry, to stay ready. Because one day, all this work, it's going to pay off. All these sacrifices, they're going to add up. And when they do, when the doors open, when the opportunity comes, when the moment arrives, it won't be an accident. It'll be because you refuse to sleep on your purpose. It'll be because you chose to stay awake. So yes, keep building, keep grinding, keep growing. Not for applause, not for validation, but because something in you refuses to die quietly. You are becoming something unstoppable, and most people won't understand. That's okay. They're asleep. Let them sleep. You stay awake. The power of no. Sometimes what you don't do shapes your future more than what you do. Everyone talks about saying yes to opportunities, to growth, to change. But I'll tell you a secret. It's your no that builds the life you were born for. No to distractions. No to mediocrity. No to the voices in your head that whisper, "You're not enough." No to that comfort zone that hugs you like a warm blanket while slowly robbing your destiny. Greatness is not always in the big wins. Sometimes greatness is in simply hanging on when everything in you wants to let go. Sometimes success isn't flashy or loud. It's the quiet resistance to quit, the stubborn refusal to give in, the steady grind when no one's watching. That's the stuff legends are made of. Because the truth is, anyone can keep going when they're motivated, when things are working, when applause is loud and support is strong. But when the motivation fades, when the crowd leaves, when the dream feels distant and you're walking through the dark, that's when the real ones show up. That's when destiny is decided. Not in highlight reels, but in the hidden hours. Not on stages, but in silence. It's in the moments where you say, "Not today, fear. Not today, doubt. Not today, giving up." It's in the moments where you say no to that old version of you that just wants to play small. You know the one I'm talking about. The version of you that plays safe, that stays quiet, that fears rejection more than it desires impact. That version has to die if the next level of you is going to live. So you say no. You say no to the familiar voices that once made you feel seen, but now only hold you back. You say no to doing things the normal way, because normal never built anything remarkable. You say no to the path of least resistance, because that's where dreams go to die. Let me say it plainly. Your next breakthrough won't come from doing more of what's easy. It'll come from doing more of what's right, even when it's hard. And that requires discipline. Discipline to stop chasing feelings and start choosing actions. Discipline to be loyal to your future, not your past. Discipline to walk alone if necessary, until you find those who are walking the same uphill path. Because your purpose is uphill. It's not going to meet you in the valley of excuses. You want to change your life? Start by changing your no's. Say no to the toxic cycles, no to the draining habits, no to the people who only show up when it benefits them.